Hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. This morning, we give you a piece of breaking news from Woman's Day magazine. Harry and Meghan's private investigator, hell. For someone who has repeatedly been described as overly paranoid and protective, being stalked is Prince Harry's worst nightmare. But it's alleged that exactly what's been happening to the father of one who has discovered that a private investigator has been snooping into his wife Meghan's life. Woman's Day magazine has learned Harry flew into a rage when it was recently reported by website Byline Investigates that a UK newspaper had hired a US-based spy who posed as a journalist to access personal information about Meghan in 2016, including her social security number and driver's license details. At that point, Meghan and Harry had just begun dating, and around the same time he issued an unprecedented, furious statement begging the UK press to leave his girlfriend alone. The prince, who has since quit the royal family and lives with his now wife and baby Archie in Los Angeles, has become even more obsessed with privacy, says sources, and spends up to $100 million in private security to keep his family safe. The insider says, when he read about this private investigator allegation, he lost his mind and immediately had his lawyers fire off a letter before action to the Sun. The prince, who has since quit the royal family and lives with his now wife and baby Archie in Los Angeles, has become even more obsessed with privacy, says sources, and spends up to $100 million in private security to keep his family safe, the insider says. When he read about this private investigator allegation, he lost his mind and immediately had his lawyers fire off a letter before action to the Sun. This is exactly the kind of thing he was trying to avoid for Meghan, and if a tabloid newspaper can so easily hire someone to spy on her, who's to say that others who wish her harm haven't done the same thing? According to the source, Harry immediately casts his mind back to his time his now estranged brother, Prince William, warned him not to propose to Meghan so quickly because he didn't know her well enough. Harry's imagination went into overdrive, and now he suspects noisy palace aides might have done the same thing, says a source, adding that his mother, Princess Diana, had similar concerns. The laws about investigating people are a little more gray in America than they are in the UK. Harry's freaking out about how many people might have had access to Meghan's personal information outside of the palace and in. But if anyone else has tried it, they can consider his letter to the Sun as a warning shot. While Byline Investigates chose not to name the private investigator hired by the Sun and now retired Snooped in question did issue a public apology to the Sussexes. In a statement to the website, he said, I apologize to Harry, and particularly to Meghan Markle, whom I targeted. I never wanted to cause Meghan Markle harm. I don't think I even realized who she was at the time, or that she had started a relationship with Prince Harry, was given the name, and told to find out where she lived and prepare a background report. Harry's latest grievance with the Sun has been added to the pile. He has also accused the newspaper of paying the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's press secretary's boyfriend of selling stories about him, claims that they're denied, along with the joint action over historic phone hacking. For Harry, who grew up in the limelight and moved to the US in part to give Archie a chance at a normal life, the thought that one of his former nearest and dearest may have also tried to dig dirt on Meghan is driving him crazy. It's no secret that he and Meghan have fallen out with quite a few of their old friends and even family over the last year or so. Another Sussex source tells, Harry's become increasingly wary of who he shares his secrets with, and you can bet he won't hesitate a second to confront anyone who he thinks is trying to dig dirt on them. Meanwhile, also on the Woman's Day magazine, they report much has been made of how the palace is hemorrhaging money since the coronavirus crisis forced them to shut the doors of their main residences to tourists, usually open to the public in summer. Now, despite the fact the UK still remains in the grips of the pandemic, it was reported in the press last week that the royal bean counters are pushing the royals to open for business. It's been revealed that Windsor Castle, where the Queen and Prince Philip are isolating, the Palace of Holyrood, the Royal Moves, and some galleries will be back up and running by the end of the month, despite the risk to working royals and their staff, a source says. The Queen is at a loss over what to do. She's starting down the barrel of losing 140 personnel because they are losing millions of pounds in revenue by not allowing visitors. The insider reveals that if these residences are open, the Queen and Philip will be moved somewhere safe. Buckingham Palace is out since it's in the heart of London, so it's looking like they'll be spending a lot more time out at Sandringham or Balmoral, says a source. They can't live at Windsor if it's going to be crawling with tourists, but that's where the money is. Meanwhile, discuss the latest news. Meghan stopped the names of her 5 friends who spoke to People magazine from being published. I believe some friends were told to go to People magazine and spill the contents of the letter. I do not believe Meghan told 5 friends because it would have been far easier for her to go to People magazine directly. Meghan has been known to call the paparazzi to come out and pap her, and she's been known to use herself as a source for press releases, news stories, and magazines. Why doesn't Meghan want the 5? I'll make it easy by pretending I believe 5 separate friends went to People, friends, to be named. Because they did the bidding of Meghan Markle and now find themselves in the middle of a court case, which Meghan designed. I don't think the 5 friends ever thought there would be a fallout coming back on them for going to the same magazine with different parts of the same letter. It looks dicey and staged. Meghan wrote a letter to her daddy, which told how he broke her heart, blah blah blah. It is difficult to believe 5 friends all saw the private letter, which Meghan made a copy of. Why? And then sent to Mexico by a special courier. This private letter, which only Meghan and her father have seen, as Meghan alleges, was kind of explained to her 5 friends, all at different times. The 5 did not see the letter, or they would be breaching Meghan's copyright by spilling to People, and her privacy and Dad's privacy to boot. Well, these 5, who never saw the letter, explained in very good detail different parts of Meghan's letter. All different parts, though. None of the 5 overlapped one another. So Meghan memorized her letter and knew what parts to tell each friend? Then the 5 friends felt so bad about Meghan's private suffering that they all went to the exact same magazine and told about the parts of the copyrighted letter, and Meghan was okay with that? Sue them for breach of privacy and copyrights, Meghan. Sue your friends. But she didn't sue until Daddy revealed the letter. Troubling. Why wait, Meghan? And how did these 5 know which magazine to spill the beans to? So many magazines. The U.S., In Touch, Vanity Fair, the preferred mag of Meghan herself, or Vogue? Meghan likes Vogue. Why did the 5 go to the same random magazine? They didn't. It simply is not possible. Got it, snowflakes? Meghan told the 5 friends where to go and told them what to say. There's no other way to use probability and statistics and logic that this random occurrence could randomly happen. It was not random. Meghan is now backed into a corner. I believe she is one of the 5 friends, and if she is and it comes out, Meghan loses all credibility. She loses all. If Meghan isn't one of the 5, and her 5 friends have to swear under oath to see the private, copyright-protected letter by Meghan, and went to People magazine again at the direction of Meghan, then Meghan loses the lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday, etc. Meghan loses all credibility if her friends tell the truth. Now, a friend or 2 might lie under oath, which is punishable by law, but all 5 friends, one of whom is supposed to be Meghan's bestie's best friend ever, Jessica Maroney, until Maroney was suddenly not a friend. Will she now tell the truth? Why lie for a woman who publicly shamed Maroney? Karma does come back to bite dicey people in the butt. Is this why the MOS pressed forward, refusing to settle out of court? The Mail on Sunday must have a fabulous, seal-tight case against Meghan Markle to press forward to a trial. A very ugly public trial. No holds barred. No gentleman's agreement with the press this time. No. Meghan has been giving the monarchy and the royals themselves a terrible tongue-lashing, calling out Catherine, Charles, Beatrice, Eugenie, and more. Will they come to Meghan's aid? The family that was lied to by Meghan and Harry? Harry cannot beg the Mail on Sunday to be lenient to his wife. Harry has left the royal family and just told them they have to make peace with their terrible past wrongdoings with regard to racial injustice. Harry, love, what about being a Nazi at a party? What about your racial slurs in the past, Harry? You must atone for your past wrongs and unconscious racism bias, which really means your bias while sleeping and under anesthesia, but okay. Just don't beg, now in hopes of currying favor with the family you hate so much, the royal family, who did protect Meghan from herself and others, publicly. Meghan's 5 friends, if named, have their own names to protect. They must first protect themselves, as Meghan has been shown to be a most untrustworthy and disloyal friend. Meghan leaves people, friends, in the dust. And her 5 friends are supposed to look at the face of the man, her daddy, and lie? Why on earth would the famous 5 lie? Meghan does not want them publicly named, even though they are important witnesses to the crimes alleged. Meghan is starting to realize her precarious position. Harry doesn't have a clue and won't comprehend why his cousins and other family members don't rush to Meghan's aid and lie for her too. The time for lies is past. It is how one faces the truth. That's one character is revealed. Markle versus Markle will be watched around the planet. Meghan is caught in a trap and she can't get out. Karma much? And you, what do you think about this news? Please let me know in the comment section below and we'll discuss them. If you love my video and Sussex Daily News channel, please like, share it for anyone who also loves it like you. And subscribe to my channel to get more news from the royal family members. Now, thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next videos. Bye.